Okay, guys. Second video, obviously Mad Viking, WWE Payback pay-per-view. I thought the first match was so good I made its own separate pop-up video. Fan reaction type gimmick. Sometimes those do well, sometimes they don't. But that first match, Kevin Owens-Jericho, was very good. Yeah, it was very good. Definitely a shocking surprise ending. Still can't believe Jericho won. Like I said, though, I have a feeling watch on SmackDown. He'll lose on Tuesday, and he'll go on tour. Unless they got him to sign a new contract again, but I doubt it. I know for a fact, like I said, his new band single is coming out the day after Payback tomorrow. So, yeah, I can see him showing up to SmackDown, doing the deed, giving the title to somebody, and then going on tour. But, next match on the card, which I predicted to be a very good match, was Neville versus Austin Aries. And so far, all it's been is an Austin Aries showcase. This is the Austin Aries I love. He is busting out every damn move you can think of. Vintage, classic, everything. Basically, it's just been him destroying Neville. Neville taking the biggest beating he's ever taken in a wrestling ring. Oh. Austin Aries just did a top rope sunset flip into a Cohita clutch, an upside down Cohita clutch, and Neville's trying to make it to the ropes. He's grabbing the ref, trying to cheat, trying to get disqualified. He just chucked the ref. That's going to stop the match, isn't it? Yep, he just stopped the match. Fans are not happy either. You can see them shaking their heads in disgust. And Aries is just heated. I think I predicted Aries to win, but like I said, at Mania, how can you have Neville as the Brock Lesnar of the Cruiserweights if he's going to get beaten? But he's had the belt now for like 6-7 months. But obviously this isn't the end of their feud. They'll be fighting again at the next Raw pay-per-view. Damn, Aries is just livid. Like I said, most fans don't seem to know who Austin Aries is just because he was in TNA all this time. And all the pay-per-view or the house shows on NXT that I saw him at, very few fans would even chant for him and stuff. I was one of the few. Austin Aries is a very talented guy. He's been a world champion almost everywhere he's went. If you didn't watch my predictions video, he's a 5-star stud. So like I said, I'm glad he's on Raw now, but I'm not real thrilled he's in the Cruiserweight division. He's got to be in his 30s. So how many years are they going to make him rot in the Cruiserweights before they let him actually compete for real titles? Neville's just slinking away with a, ha-ha-ha heel grin on his face. But that's what we got, a disqualification win by Austin Aries, but Neville gets to hold the title. Stupid. Next matchup is, I hate these commercials, man. These stupid commercials. This must be a WWE film. Or it's a sponsor, my bad. Next matchup is the Hardy Boys versus Sheamus and Cesaro. I'm not real thrilled to see this. Could really care either way. It's a filler match, in my eyes. So right now it's still Retro Hardys versus Sheamus and Cesaro for the WWE Raw Tag Team titles. See, I don't get the whole Retro Hardys thing. Matt comes out and he's doing the broken gimmick, sort of. He still yells delete, and he's still got the stripe in his hair. He goes, laugh and all that shit. But they're coming out to vintage Hardy Boy shit, music, and doing all the vintage Hardy Boy moves. I keep reading Matt's going to, somewhere down the line here pretty soon, do the broken gimmick. But they're going to do it without Jeff, which I think is retarded. But Matt's even back to wearing the jeans or the pants he was wearing in the WWE back in the day. It's just weird. It's like such a waste. Just a month ago, I was at the Lakeland Civic Center watching them doing the broken gimmick to a sold-out arena. The next night, they show up on WrestleMania, and they're doing 1999 vintage Hardy Boy crap. I don't know. It just seems like such a waste. It's like they're trying to kill the gimmick before they even do it. It's just, I don't know. They cut off all the momentum from the broken gimmick and go back to something 20 years old. I don't know. All right, match just started. Matt and Cesaro are in the ring. Hardy's in control early. Matt was basically working over Cesaro. Hot tagged in with Jeff, where they did a couple of their old vintage moves. They got the poetry in motion in early. It used to be, what, a finishing move back in the day. Sheamus got in after that. Basically, he's just been isolating Jeff Hardy, wearing him down, beating the piss out of him. He just stopped him from tagging in Matt. And that seems to be pretty standard in these tag team matches now in the WWE. He just isolates somebody for 15 minutes. Oh, Jesus. They're showing that replay on that kick. Sheamus just freaking punted Jeff Hardy in the face. Shin kicked him. Cesaro's back in. Hits the rope. Does a giant leg drop. Goes for the pin. 2 count. Jeff finally got the mat. Got the hot tag in. Matt cleaned house, got the side effect in, went for the pin. Of course, Sheamus broke it up. Matt came in, threw Sheamus outside, and did some running, diving spear off the apron into Sheamus. Matt's going for, God, what did he used to call his top? Oh, the moonsault. God, I don't remember him doing that. But, of course, he missed. Matt and Cesaro back to their feet. Cesaro just did a spinning elbow off the top rope. Spinboard corkscrew elbow. I don't know where my wrestling knowledge has gone these days. Cesaro has Matt Hardy in the Cesaro swing. He's at about 15 swings. He got the 22 swings. Going now for the sharpshooter in the middle of the ring. Ooh, that looked like Matt was tapping. He's crawling to the ring ropes. Jeff helped Matt grab the rope even though he didn't have to, and then Sheamus just dropped Jeff right there. Matt got thrown to the turnbuckle. He big booted Cesaro. He climbed the top rope. He's eating an elbow. Sheamus is back in, climbing the top rope, meeting Matt. Second rope. Oh, what's Sheamus' move? Celtic Cross? No. Jeff Hardy broke it up. I know it's not the Celtic Cross. He doesn't do that anymore. White noise. Now Jeff's cleaning out Cesaro. Cesaro actually caught him outside the ring. Jeff counters and throws him over the guardrail into the crowd. Lands on his head. Sheamus is doing the getting ready for the big boot. Matt dodges it. Hits Cesaro in the gut. Sheamus. He's going for the twist of fate. Sheamus is fighting out of it. Sheamus DDTs Matt again in the middle of the ring. Kicks out at 2. Matt secretly tagged Jeff. Sheamus didn't see it. And Cesaro planted Matt. He was going for the pin, and Jeff hit him with the swanton. Rolled him over and got the 1, 2, 3. The Hardy Boys retain the Raw Tag Team titles. They're all meeting, shaking hands in the center ring. Cesaro and Sheamus raise the Hardy Boys' hands. and leave the ring. I was expecting them to turn or jump them or something. Hardy Boys are celebrating. Cesaro's back. He jumped, knocked Jeff off the top rope, and Sheamus is beating up on Matt. So they're jumping them after the match. Matt's into the guardrail. Cesaro's ramming Jeff into the turnbuckle or the corner post. Now Matt's eating the corner post. He's getting headbutted into it. Oh! Cesaro was holding Jeff against the turnbuckle, and then Sheamus did a running big boot to Jeff in the back of the head, making him hit the turnbuckle. So Cesaro and Sheamus are turning heel, obviously to keep this feud going. Now they're holding the tag team titles, but they didn't win. Up row kick to Matt Hardy. He is busted open and bleeding, and there's no bleeding these days in WWE, so I don't know if that was planned or not. Maybe this is what breaks Matt Hardy. Next matchup is Alexa Bliss versus Bayley for the Raw Women's title. Both girls look like they have new ring gear on, but I could be wrong. So far, it's an evenly played out match. It's just back and forth on each other. Alexa seems to be firing up now on Bayley, though. If Alexa wins, she's going to become the first woman to win the newly developed Raw and SmackDown female championships, which is interesting. Do I think she's winning tonight? I don't think I predicted she's going to win. Not yet, but what do I know? Alexa is in full control, doing just about any dirty thing and tactic you can think of. It's all kind of pretty funny. Like standing on Bayley's ponytail and then grabbing her arms and lifting her up, or throws Bayley to the ring apron and then stands on her back while she's leaning into the ropes, things like that. She's just basically toying with her and playing off the emotions of the crowd. She's having a good time in this match, you can tell. She's taunting the officials, now she's taunting the crowd. Probably making some little girls cry somewhere. Bayley just shot up and caught her on the ring apron. I don't know what type of move that was. It looked like she was trying to go for a spinning DDT, but you can't DDT a girl when she's climbing in through the middle ring apron. It just looked like she kind of whiplashed her. Bayley's got her now. I thought she was going to do a running bulldog. She just dumped her head first into the corner turnbuckle and then did a flying forearm into her. And then just suplexed her ass. She's definitely in control now. Did a spinning back elbow to the back of her head, clotheslined her. You'd think she'd go for a pin here. They were both just fighting on the top ropes. Bliss was going for something, and then Bayley caught her up there and was trying to go for a belly to Bayley. Bliss countered and did a sunset flip off the top rope into a roll-up for trying to get the pin, but she only got a 2 count. Ooh, Alexa's back is all shredded. She must be hitting those ropes wrong or something. Alexa just hit Bayley in the stomach with her knees. Went for the back flip knees. Bayley moved out of the way, ran the ropes, and just did a knee into Alexa's face. Now she's climbing the turnbuckle. She's just sitting there staring at her, wasting a lot of time. She just dropped the Macho Man elbow. Bliss kicks out. Wow. All right, Bayley tried to do an inside package on Bliss. Bliss rolled out of it. I'm going blank on what she just did to her. And she pinned Bayley for the 1, 2, 3. She's now the Raw Women's Champion. Interesting. Okay, Bayley tried to inside package Bliss for the pin. Bliss fought out, got her up into another position, DDT'd her, and got the pin. And then they were going through all the highlights of how all the other times she DDT'd her or rammed her head into something in the match. So they were, I guess, she does kind of have a welt on her head, Bayley. So they were obviously showcasing that she took a little bit of a beating. But it was a good match, better than I thought it was going to be. Up next is obviously the House of Horrors match. They've got Randy Orton walking up to some big house that kind of looks like it's abandoned, and it's all lit up with creepy lighting. Orton's looking in the window, and you can see Bray Wyatt pacing around in the house. Now the electricity's coming on magically. So Randy goes to the front door, and he tried to ring the doorbell. He just kicked in the door. There's cobwebs and the lights are flickering like it's a haunted house. It kind of just looks like a bunch of old people furniture covered in sheets with like creepy things laying around. It's definitely probably an abandoned house that they just threw some shit together for. The door slams shut behind Randy. Wyatt's behind him. He takes him down and starts beating the shit out of him. Crap, sorry YouTube, out of him. So Wyatt jumps him in essentially what's just the first room, the living room. He beats him up a little bit, threw him into some furniture. Randy's writhing, rolling around in pain. When he comes out of it, Bray's gone. So now Orton's back to wandering around the house. And then kind of in the dark, you see all the cobwebs. A hand just came out of the wall and started choking him. It looked like Bray. I don't know. Now he's entering in a room filled with baby dolls hanging from the ceiling. It looks like they're floating, actually. You can't really see strings. And they've all got like makeup and face paint on. They're naked. There's a rocking chair in the corner. And a baby crib. I don't know if that's supposed to mean anything. They did kind of hint in those old Wyatt videos that Sister Abigail was pregnant. Orton picks up a doll, and then Wyatt comes into the room and starts beating him up again. Orton's trying to gouge his eyeballs out with his thumbs. Oh, jeez. Wow. Wyatt just threw Randy Orton through a wall into an empty closet. Wyatt hits Orton with the baby carriage and then, of course, vanishes again, which makes Orton have to go and wander around the house looking for him again. You can hear Orton screaming for him. The lights are flickering. Orton's throwing dishes and overturning a dining room table. Orton's walking around. He looks into a room that looks... It's got red lighting, and there's some weird totem in the middle of the room made of sticks, and it's made of multi-layers. Each layer, one layer had a baby's head, a bird's nest. It had some like deer antlers on the top of it. I guess you could maybe say it was satanic looking. Of course, Wyatt reappears and jumps Orton from behind, but now they're brawling in the kitchen. He's hitting Orton with a pot, Except now Randy's actually getting some offense in. There's shit scribbled on the wall and like what looks like feces or mud that says "We're here." They're both just laying on the ground catching their breath. Orton had Bray's head on a cabinet corner. He picked up a pan. He was going to hit him in the head with it. Bray kicked him in the nuts, dropped Orton to the ground, and then Bray dropped a refrigerator on him, which allowed him to leave the room, and he's now stumbling around the house. And he's going into a room with flickering lights right now, and it looks pretty black and dark. Actually, I think he's leaving the house, which he is. He goes outside the house, drops to his knees, and yells, "Follow the buzzards." And then the house changed from like a weird ambionic light blue to a red. I thought they were going to light the house on fire, but it hasn't gotten that way. Wyatt's stumbling away from the house, and I'm sure this is supposed to be them going back to the arena now. Bray Wyatt, of all things, gets into a stretched limo, asked to be driven to the arena, and starts singing "He's Got the Whole World in His Hands." Now let me guess, at some point he's going to find out that Randy Orton's driving him. So they're going now to the next match, which happens to be Samoa Joe versus Seth Rollins. So far, neither one you can say has been controlling the match. They've been just rumbling inside and out. Rollins did a running dive through the ropes, sending Joe into the announcer's table. About 2 minutes go by, and Joe regains his opportunity. He gets in the ring, does a running dive through the ropes, sends Seth Rollins in between the announcer's tables into the guardrail. They go back into the ring and start fighting, and then, of course, Joe starts targeting his knee, his surgically repaired knee. He just senton bombed his knee in the middle of the ring, but Seth isn't limping or anything, so I guess damn. Joe just enziguried Rollins in the corner. It's the second or third one already of the match. But damn, he makes it look good. Yeah, body bomb onto. They're showing the replay of the knee drop. This was one of the matches that I was looking forward to, even though I was kind of scratching my head while they were wrestling. They should have been wrestling at WrestleMania, but I forgot that Joe jumped Rollins all these months ago. So they're now finally fighting. Rollins went to the top rope to do something. Joe caught him midair and turned it into an atomic knee drop on Rollins. Then he rolled up Rollins into like a knee leg bar, and he's trying to make him submit like that. It's like a, instead of the arm bar, obviously a leg arm bar on of course, the hurt leg. Rollins did make it to the ropes. Samoa Joe just let him go. Got Joe powerbombed Rollins. Rollins kicked out at 2. Then he rolled over and he has Rollins in a half crab. Rollins is trying to get to the ropes. Samoa Joe is putting him in now looks like a clover leaf. And Rollins got to the ropes and Joe's not happy. That was impressive. Rollins is definitely favoring the knee now. He hit Joe with a blockbuster. He just hit him with a super kick, tried to go for the pin. Every time he gets up and moves around, though, now he's hobbling. He's eyeing the top rope. He's hopping the ropes just to get up there. Joe meets him. They're both trying to counter each other. Rollins slipped out. He's trying to do that top rope power bomb. His knee buckled. Joe has him in a headlock, dragging him out to the middle of the ring. Wow, he just suplexed Samoa Joe. It wasn't a suplex. It was more like a Michinoku driver. I don't think I've ever seen anybody do that. Rollins is back on the top rope. Frog splash. He hit it, but he's not. He's rolling around the ring, grabbing his knee. Now he's going to the pin. Joe kicks out. Weird finish. Rollins Pele kicked Joe. Went for the pin. Joe rolled out of it. Got Rollins in the coquina clutch. Off the ropes. Seth reversed it into a pin to a 2 count. Joe kicked out. Joe got Rollins back in the coquina clutch. Flipped him over while still in it. Head over his feet over his head, and had Joe in a pinning combination and pinned him. 1, 2, 3. And Joe instantly started beating the crap out of him. But it looks amazing on replay. Modified cradle, they're calling it. Wow. So Rollins won. I don't remember who I predicted to win this. I really need to start writing this stuff down. Now Wyatt's back in the arena. The limo pulled up, and he's walking out. He's hitting the ring. The lights are out, of course. Everybody's got their cell phones out. He's carrying the lantern, and he's just smirking and laughing. Orton's supposedly still sitting in that house with a refrigerator on his head. The lights come on, and of course Randy Orton is standing right behind Bray Wyatt in the ring. No explanation given how he got there. And now they're just brawling outside of the ring at the moment. Randy's throwing him over the announcer's table. Orton DDT'd Bray Wyatt off the announcer's table onto the floor, the outside floor. Hit him a few times with a chair. He's got him back inside the ring. He's calling for the RKO. Setting it up anyway. The Singh brothers just hit the ring and are now attacking Randy Orton. The AKA Bollywood boys. The match hasn't stopped, or the bell hasn't been rung. Bray springs up, went for Sister Abigail, tried to roll up Bray. He escaped, Bray charged and got an RKO. Jinder Mahal just hit the ring and hit Randy in the back of the head with the title. Jinder Mahal hits him again in the back of the head with the title. Bray uses the opportunity to Sister Abigail Randy for the win, which will mean nothing. Randy stays on SmackDown. Bray goes to Raw still. And that's the end of their feud. I'm sure people are going to crap all over this match. I don't know what to think of it right now. The House of Horror match was kind of goofy. This ending is just, I don't know. I really didn't know what they were going to do with this. It just sounded hokey to begin with. But this is obviously just setting up Jinder Mahal versus Randy Orton. Last match in the card is Roman versus Braun. And it's just starting. They went through the whole video package. Roman Reigns is slowly limping out to the ring. He's all bandaged up around his chest and right arm area. And he's like gimpy, like he's holding his arm up. He looks a little ridiculous. Maybe this is how they play off that Braun beats him. Braun got some early power moves in. Roman got some offense in the beginning. Of course, the fans booed. He He was going to try to spear Braun, and Braun moved out of the way. He went for the drive-by, and Braun caught him midair and just chucked him into the announcer's table. And ever since that, Braun's just been doing various things to beat on Roman. Threw him into the stairs a few times, dumped him on the announcer's table. He just gave him a massive clothesline. He's basically just pummeling him. Now he's going for the pin. 2 count. Sorry, not too much commentary on that match, this match, because I'm running out of time. But basically, it was done that, Roman fought valiantly, even though he wasn't 100%. He was injured. I predicted Braun Strowman was going to win this match, but they had me convinced that Roman Reigns was going over at one point. Basically, towards the end, it was basically one too many power moves by Braun, and it overtook Roman. And then after the victory, with the fans chanting, "Thank you, Strowman," Braun continued to kind of beat on Roman Reigns, not like he did on Monday Night Raw. Dropped the stairs on his chest a few times, which was supposedly making Roman cough up blood from his mouth. He's coughed blood up all over him inside the ring. I still say that Braun Strowman's probably the biggest babyface right now on Raw, but Roman Reigns refused medical help, and they show him backstage coughing up blood all over the wall behind the curtain right now. But I don't know. That's it for now, guys. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think of this pay-per-view. Like, subscribe, leave a message, follow me here, follow me on Instagram. That's it for now, guys. I'll catch you guys later.